This is the GoPro Fusion. This is GoPro's take on a 360 camera. As with any typical 360 camera, there's a lens on the front and on the back. With any 360 camera, you can take really cool photos, very cool creative photos, such as these tiny planet photos that I've been taking a lot of. You can also create a lot of 360 videos that you sometimes see on YouTube or Facebook. You know, the ones where you can use your mouse to kind of control where you look at in the scene. Or you can use something like a Google Cardboard to try to kind of like control where you look. As far as video is concerned, I didn't get a 360 camera to shoot 360 video. Actually, I got a 360 camera to shoot what GoPro calls over capture, or what Insta360 calls free capture. Basically, you shoot everything and then you decide in post what you want to show. And when I mean everything, with a 360 camera, you really shoot everything. So in post, you can decide whether to shoot there, 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 or there. You can do some cool panning effects. And you know those small tiny planet photos I did? Yes, you can do that with video as well. This opens up huge possibilities of creative videos. Check out this clip from John Olsson's vlog, or Jan Olsson. He's a professional free skier, and he has a vlog that he documents his life, his adventures, his travels. Check out this little clip. Let's go, boys. Good. Yeah. This clip may not be impressive to some people, but man, I was impressed. It was all done in one take. It's all done using a selfie stick, starting by sticking it out of the window, coming in the house, between the guy's legs, just continuing to follow the group of guys with some simple camera movements, and most of the work being done in post. Oh yeah, that's another thing. To really get the potential out of these 360 cameras, you really need some kind of selfie stick. I've kind of mentioned in the past, earlier vlogs, that I was kind of against selfie sticks. And I think that was during a time where selfie sticks were really popular for taking selfie photos. It kind of just turned me off. But with vlogging, and especially using 360 cameras, a selfie stick is pretty essential. Check out the video I did with my friend Karen exploring Philadelphia. That was shot using the Insta360 1X, using a selfie pole. You can't even see the selfie pole at all. I was able to do some effects like putting the selfie stick over my shoulder as if I had a camera or a small drone following me. As far as the GoPro Fusion, it is a great camera. I've owned a cheaper 360 camera in the past, the Samsung Gear 360, and I've used other 360 cameras in the past, such as the Ricoh Theta V, or the Insta360 1X. The Fusion probably produces the best videos and photos that I've seen out of any 360 camera. There are definite downsides to this particular camera, and the first is just the huge file sizes. I mean, this thing takes two micro SD cards, one for the front and one for the back. Related to that, in order to edit these kind of videos, you need to stitch them together into a usable format, whether it be on your iPad, whether it be on your computer. And unless you have a really beefy computer or like an eGPU connected to your computer like I do, to stitch and process these videos can take hours and hours out of your life. Basically, to summarize the downsides or the cons for this camera, it's basically very slow workflow. What makes the Insta360 1X really awesome is the app itself. You can do keyframes in the app, and you can control where you're going to look. The GoPro Fusion Studio app doesn't yet support keyframes, so once they do that, that's going to be a game changer. But still, the stitching of the photos still will take a long time no matter what. As far as positives are concerned, of course, I mentioned it before, this does have great image and video quality. And it's built really well. Of course, I'd still be afraid of scratching these lenses like any 360 camera, but just the body itself, it has a little heft to it, which is not bad. Now, even though the workflow for the Insta360 One X is way better than the GoPro Fusion, and normally I would recommend that camera to people, but there's one thing that makes this more tempting to buy than the Insta360 One X. And that brings me to my third pro. It's the price. Now, when this was released, it was released at $699, and that's a lot of money. And slowly over time, it just kept on coming down in price, and now it retails for $299. I believe the Insta360 comes at $399 actually. And I don't know if that includes the selfie stick or not. This one includes a selfie stick. It's not quite as long as the Insta360 one, but yeah, but it comes with it. Now, I even got this cheaper than the $299, so it made a very compelling buy. Now, this means that probably the next camera or the next version of this camera is coming out. There's a rumor that it's going to be called the GoPro Max. And there are a number of features that might be game changers, but I'm pretty sure it's going to start at a pretty high price. Now, this has been my short review of the GoPro Fusion 360 camera. Now, would I recommend this camera? Yes, especially at a compelling price point, but only if you're willing to do a lot of post-processing with this. The workflow is very slow, and the amount of time to take to stitch the videos and photos, you're going to be waiting quite a while just for it to process, even before you edit. Now, if you want something very simple to use, especially for video, I would actually recommend the Insta360 One X camera. Either way, I'm looking forward to using this camera in my future adventures, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Until the next time.